Athel's had a lovely time at Camp Aldaren. He will miss this place so much.
And Gail too.
Kind of, yes, but kind of.
After a day relaxing completely on the Adriatic coast, we start again on route day 55 of our route.
We're heading off to Mali Lozenge, which is the next little island, and that's where we'll get the ferry from tomorrow. We've arrived at the point that Lozenge and Cres Island are separated, so we've moved on to Lozenge Island now.
Just passed through Osor and just another 20 k's and we're at our next campsite. It's really relaxed cycling day.
Beautiful blue sea behind us.
It is stunning.
So we've just arrived in Mali Lozenge. Look at this glorious outlook. Imagine being on that yacht right now. But we are going looking for some lunch and enjoying being on the other side of the island, on the west coast.
As a last minute thing, we decided we didn't want to camp tonight. We'll see what's available to stay in.
So here's our spontaneous diversion. Packing up with camping for one night and heading on to Veli Lozenge, and it turns out to be this incredible tucked away little cove. It looks amazing. Now we're looking down the other way from the church, so it's so idyllic. The only issue is that to get to our youth hostel we've got to climb some stairs, and that was a bit hard, but it could get even harder because it just keeps going up from here. So Athel's going to suss it out to see what to do. All right, so we're sitting on the terrace at our youth hostel, looking out on Veli Lozenge and having a very nice baklava because this reminds us of the Greek islands.
Now that the sun is down, everyone's come out to eat in the restaurants in the harbour. It's just so beautifully picturesque here.
The seagulls are keeping watch over the little fishing village of Ravenska. So Athel is secretly wishing he had brought his swimmers, but we've left our stuff at the youth hostel so we can go exploring. And it's so idyllic, oh my goodness. Only come here with your swimmers, please. Well, we're cycling to the ferry on our rest day, but we're going swimming soon.
There's our ferry that we're going to be catching at 4:30 p.m. this evening. And here's our lunch.
It is, surprise, surprise, spinach puree.
Yummy.
Well, this was a great view for a lunch picnic. Looking back on Mali Lozenge and across the bay towards our ferry. But that's only in 2 hours, so we're going off exploring into the wild yonder of the forest. Hopefully we'll manage to find our way out.
So this is an old torpedo bunker, which is right next to some ruined port area.
Edgy tourism, folks.
Edgy tourism.
Edgy tourism.
We're off to Mali Lozenge port to catch the ferry across to Zadar.
Back to the mainland.
It's quite a long ferry journey because it stops in at many islands on the way. And
This is how we cruise the Adriatic.
Yeah, we're cruising the Adriatic on a car ferry.
about 4.5 hours, 3-hour ferry journey on the way to Zadar, and the sun is going down and we're getting closer to the mainland.
We're almost the last off the ferry, but we're going to have a long night waiting for our bus tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah.
Now this is the glamorous life of travel that we always hear about.
Cheers.
We just arrived on the ferry. It's
At 11 o'clock at night.
11 o'clock at night.
The sun comes up at 5 a.m. 6 hours
Of partying.
to go.
Whoop whoop! After spending the night outside the ferry departure terminal, just to wait for dawn,
Fresh as a daisy we are.
we're heading into Zadar to get some breakfast as the sun rises.
Lovely.
We're having our coffee on the beach with all the late night partiers who are just chatting after a night out.
Well,
in
we were
Zadar.
pretty much a late night party last night.
And the islands are gradually waking up as the sun comes up.
We are at Zadar Old Town. Athel's going through the gates. So that is the Winged Lion of St. Mark, which tells you that this was a Venetian city owned by the Venetians.
This is the sea organ. That's cool.
He's missing the mountains that we've been traveling towards for the last 4 days. Still sleeping.
This morning we're having a day hiking in Plitvice Lakes.
Which is an amazing 16-lake waterfall area. We're so excited about it, and probably doing about 14 kilometers today, so it's a nice rest day with hiking. So it's just before 7 a.m. and the lakes are about to open. We're going into the woods, but I'm just saying that yesterday when we came through the village, we saw our first bear sign, beware of the bears. So they do come into the villages, but that's only in autumn. We're feeling pretty confident that they won't be coming in the height of summer.
We were one of the first people in the park, and so the lake is nice and still, and there's no one around.
And there they are, Plitvice Lakes, the big waterfall. And then we're going to spend the whole day walking around all the lakes and all the other waterfalls with about 10,000 other people. At the end of the lake, there are quite a few waterfalls coming in from the upper lakes. Michael's walking the trails of the upper lakes, and look at this incredible waterfall along the way. Stunning. I just love the way around every corner there's trickling water. Just so many interconnected lakes. And you just walk along this walkway, and every time you look up there's another waterfall, another tranquil surface. Stunning. But wait, there's more. So we're still in the walking trails, but now we've been taken up into the forest where the other tourists don't go. We're going up to a viewing spot.
We're at the top of Plitvice Lakes.
We went for walks through the forest, and now we're just having a bird's eye view of the glorious blue lakes.
Here you can see how the lakes are in different levels, and the higher lake behind is sending the waterfall down the lower lake.
We're about to head off across the lake, oops, to go find our lunch. Would a holiday even be a more holiday without this man fast asleep somewhere beautiful?
We have so enjoyed our time at Plitvice Lakes, and as it's 4 o'clock, we're making our way home with very tired feet.
This poor man is desperate for sustenance. So we're not in Egypt, we've just bumped into the Sphinx because anything can happen in Zadar apparently.
The heat wave, which is affecting parts of Europe, is very intense for this early stage in the summer. Temperatures widely across Spain and Portugal will be in the 40s, pushing 40 degrees in France and well into the 30s across many other parts of Europe.
Hi, it's day 57, we think, and we are off to the towns of the lower Split coast.
And we're leaving at 5:30 a.m. to beat the heat because it's going to be a 38-degree day.
Yes, hoping for the best.
This is the time to be up and riding in 5:30 in the morning before the sun's come up. We're off the Eurovelo 8 now, making our own way through the industrial port area, and then going down the coast instead of swapping over onto the islands just because of the heat and the distance and the hills. Rather keep it straight and simple. A nice little breakfast spot to eat the packed breakfast that our accommodation, the High Hostel, gave us as we left, which was very nice of them.
Great road!
Now this is the life.
Palm trees.
Quiet beach, road, just beautiful.
So we're on the back roads just south of Biogradna Moru, and this is quite different and a lot quieter than the other roads. It's getting hot.
Starting to heat up, and we've made good progress. 60 kilometers good to go.
We're on the shores of Lake Vransko Jezero, and looking back to where we were for our rest day yesterday, up at Plitvice Lakes behind all those distant mountains.
We've been riding along between the lake and the ocean, and now we've got a bit of height and it's really beautiful looking down there.
Athel is looking for archaeological findings. What did you find?
Nothing.
Nothing. That sign was confusing. We are going back with the protein for lunch. Hamburgers on the beachfront in a beautiful spot with a cruise ship out there. So they'll be eating their buffet and we're eating our hamburgers.
We've had a lovely couple of hours just relaxing on Plitvice Beach, which just carries on and on and on for ages. Just beach after beach after beach. It's quite incredible. And everyone's at the beach because it's the perfect day for it.
We found a 6th century church, Christian church, in a little village, Srema Prisba.
These were twin churches or twin basilicas, the one likely for mass and the other one for the cult worship of relics. And it's in the middle of the olive orchards, which have amazing stone walls just up all over the place. Came across this little traditional stone house just in the middle of nowhere, and that is the bridge we're going to be crossing any moment to get to the other side of the inlet.
Of Cres Island. Well, we are very relieved that the pedestrian side footpath is open on this bridge because it's quite a long one, but it's really beautiful. We're going to enjoy seeing this view of the Cres River as we walk across.
Could this be the Bezos honeymoon's yacht? Very nice. Exploring the old city.
The birds are flying overhead for sunset. Such an extensive old city of Sivine.
Can we sound ourselves our way up to the castle? It's just a maze of passages. They're everywhere. Don't know where we're going.
Authentic old city, this.
This is a water clock. You can see the seconds going around the edge, and the blue is the hour hand, and the pink is the minute hand. And it tells the time, which means it's 9:15. Time for our bed. It's just after 5 a.m. and we're just leaving Sibenic now after a lovely time. A very short visit, but very impressive city. The big advantage of a 5 a.m. start is that you get to see beautiful sunrises over the ocean. It is just stunning and there's no traffic, so it's a very pleasant ride.
It's almost 6 a.m. and we are getting the early morning sunlight on these beautiful fishing villages, historic villages on the coast, the Dalmatian coast. On our way to Split, which is 80 kilometers away, and we're trying to beat the heat.
I think that might be our climb up the side of that hill. That's the hill that we're going to be cycling up. I'm glad it's early in the morning because that's in full sunshine, so it's going to be hot. And up the hill we go, 10% grade in the sun, but fortunately it's an early morning sun, so not too hot.
We're earning our beautiful evening on the island tonight.
We are.
This was a very long cycle up that hill, but we made it. And lovely views back down where we came from.
Hey little guy, this is a little hedgehog. Better to get off the road, little guy. That's better. These olive orchards are quite amazing. How much rock they have around there, and almost every tree has got its own little rock encirclement, like it's being protected from invasion. It's really pretty up here.
Can I have my tar road back, please?
Looking out the bay over Trogor towards Split, and the fancy luxury yachts parked in the bay. It's been a hard morning cycle and we're almost at the end.
We're ready for our yachting day. Today our ancient city is called Trogor, and we're exploring St. John's Cathedral and the old marketplace.
Earlier we were cycling along next to busy traffic, and now it's a busy airport.
Tired now. So now we're into Split Bay. We're about 10 k's away, I think. There it is across here. It's the second biggest city in Croatia, so you can actually see the higher buildings.
We're riding into the outer suburbs of Split and just going along the coastline until we get to the city.
Seagulls catching a ride on a very jaunty looking statue. And it's a hot day, but it's just beautiful being back against the backdrop of the water. And another really old city. Oh, there's Ethel. I better catch him.
After a rather hectic cycle into Split on main roads through industrial areas, we are now in a lovely parkland on the headland next to the water. Bit of rain coming down, just a little couple of drops, and that's cooling. It is hot out here though.
So we're looking out over Split Old Town from the water side, and there's our ferry for a bit later. But look at all the clouds amassing on the horizon. We're so happy to see those. It's hard to work out what is the old palace and what's been added to it over the years. I'm really just doing this to capture those poor Roman soldiers in their hot clothes. And also the only remaining Sphinx that Diocletian managed to keep intact out of the 12 he brought from Egypt.
We're heading off again on another ferry, this time to
Starry Grad on Var Island.
it was a little bit close getting the payment through because our credit card wouldn't work, but we're here.
Because we've been spending big, baby.